From the top rope to your collection, this collecting the 1, 2, 3 presented by Cardboard Dugout. I am your host, Moon 3PO. This is my tag team partner, Ropio, with a WrestlePalooza and Hobby Talk episode. Ropio, how you
Doing pretty good. Just another day in paradise. Another upcoming weekend of some more wrestling. So gotta get locked in.
Yes, a lot of wrestling this week, a lot of wrestling last week. So we're gonna recap over this week too as well. So this episode here, we're gonna recap a little bit what we saw, what we watched last week. Obviously, we were talking off air. We didn't get to catch a lot of the things because obviously we were out with you on Friday, so didn't catch too much of wrestling. I'm referencing Triple-A. Then we watched here NXT Homecoming, where I watched NXT Homecoming. Then this week here, like we just talked about, we got WrestlePalooza on Saturday, same day as AEW. Like last episode we did when this both happened, we did an AEW prediction episode. We're not going to be talking to AEW this week. I honestly have not been watching too much AEW, so I don't even know what is going on that card right now. I think Cope and Christian are involved in a tag team match. There's some other, I think Kyle Fletcher is fighting Hangman Adam Page for the title, if I'm not mistaken. There's a whole lot of foolery happening over on that side, so I do not know what's going on. So I'm not going to do a prediction episode for it. Will we Wally watch it? Maybe, but it's not going to be a thing where I'm going to predict it here. It is starting earlier, so if honestly Tony Khan kind of helped us out a little bit, because now we can watch AEW and then go watch WrestlePalooza, which starts at 6 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard, no, Central Standard Time, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
And then, of course, have a little bit of hobby talk here. Obviously, it's been about a month or 3 weeks now, give or take, for Cactus Jack. We've seen a lot of it here in product, in hand, things like that. So obviously, we'll talk about, some of our favorite sets. As you can tell, if you're watching for the YouTube viewers, you see I got quite a bit of them on the back here because I am honestly just a really big fan of the product. I'm a really big fan of the insert. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about some of the big sales that we've seen, things of that nature. And then, of course, here we got Topps Finest that is coming out next Friday. Actually, by the time you're listening, it'll be 2 Fridays from now, September 26th. So we'll dive deep a little bit into it here. We'll talk, some sets we're taking a look at here, some inserts we're going to keep an eye out for, and again, maybe who we're targeting as we get closer to that release date. But let's talk about the week that we had here in wrestling. So we had Triple-A, which obviously had the biggest thing that came out of Triple-A this past Friday was obviously Dirty Dom now being a double champion, being the Triple-A Mega Champion, and also being the Intercontinental Champion. And then we also had some cool things that happened in between, so we'll kind of talk about that. And then, of course, we had NXT Homecoming. Obviously, we talked about it off air. We personally didn't watch Triple-A. Again, we were out celebrating your birthday, which happy belated birthday once again. I feel like we always celebrate your birthday for like 3 weeks. It feels, no hate towards your way, but I feel like we always celebrate your birthday for like 3 weeks. But yeah, so we were out. And there's a story I have about that, because my intentions were, because we already discussed that we weren't going to be out too late. So my intentions were to come
Which
home.
we weren't, to be fair. We weren't.
Which we weren't. We were home by like 10:30, 10 o'clock. And it started at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. So my idea that I had in my head, I was like, okay, cool. I can come back home. I can put on Triple-A on the iPad or on the big screen, watch it on YouTube Live. That did not fucking happen. I don't know what happened to me that night. I have a theory out there that someone slipped a little something. Somebody has it out for Moon 3PO. Maybe I could send him a back card or something. I have it out for somebody there. But man, I came home and I fell asleep. I didn't even drink that much. I did not have that much alcohol intake, but man, something happened that night where I did not catch Triple-A. I had full intentions of watching it, being down on my couch with some snacks, some popcorn. But yeah, that unfortunately did not happen. And I just have not had the time to actually sit down and watch the matches and watch the card. I heard it was a good card. I heard it was one of the better cards that they had. Obviously, the Triple-A's have been really good, but haven't had time to sit down and actually watch the matches there. But I've heard, again, it is a pretty good matches all around. Again, what we kind of predicted, I think a couple of weeks ago, was Dominic Mysterio being a double champ here. And then another cool thing that happened was the Wyatt Six being involved in the tag team scene, making an attack there. I don't know if it was before. No, not before. Obviously, it came. I think it came after the match. Right? to the attack coming after. So again, didn't watch it, but I think those were two cool like little moments. Obviously, as us being, you know, Wyatt 6 fans, Uncle Howdy fans, Bray Wyatt fans, it's really cool to finally see them, you know, start branching out, capturing gold, going for gold. I know on Friday Night SmackDown as well, they had a really interesting promo backstage. There's just Uncle Howdy and Eric Rowan. So who knows what the plans are going to be moving forward. Obviously, right now they've been promoting a lot of the Uncle Howdy stuff with the House of Horrors being at Universal. So it's even cool seeing Bo Dallas, Taylor Rotunda kind of out and about, kind of doing their own personal interviews. So it's been really cool to see what they've been doing the last couple of weeks. But I'll throw it over to you, Bropio. I'm not sure what you saw coming out of Triple-A, but what were your overall thoughts from what you saw? How do we feel about Dirty Dom being double champ? They even showed it, referenced it on Monday Night Raw as well. So I think it's cool seeing a Triple-A championship on Netflix. I think that's still kind of surreal. And obviously we had the Wyatt 6 being involved there. So who knows, maybe capturing more gold for the tag team division over on SmackDown. But what are our thoughts here on AAA?
Yeah, I didn't set into much. Obviously, by the time I got home, when I turned on the TV, well, actually, once we got the kids back into the bed, got to relax, turned on the TV, followed the YouTube app and all that good stuff. Dirty Dom, like I was just getting the belt. I think Ray was like putting the belt around his waist and stuff like that. By the time I caught, so that's where I came in. So I have to like go back and like haven't watched it yet. I want to, just haven't got around to it. But like I've kind of skimmed through it. So it's always kind of interesting because they always have like some like random like matches that are like put together. Like Ethan Page was in there, and like sometimes like something like Lee out of nowhere, which I heard that match was pretty good.
Yeah.
What else? Yeah, I saw the Wyatt 6 one. I had to I was like skimming through it. So when I finally saw them come out, I was like, oh shit, let me rewind it back. And I think they were attacking. I don't even know who they are. I think it's like those people dressed as clowns or some shit like that.
Psycho Clown.
Yeah.
I don't know who the other guy is.
So I don't know if it's supposed to be like a little spooky thing since we're in the spooky season, stuff like that. But yeah, so I really don't have to comment on it on that. I think I even predicted this a while back that I wouldn't be surprised if Dirty Dom was gonna hit the what do they call it, Triple-A Mega Championship down there.
Triple H Mega, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it kind of makes sense. But yeah, I did like how they did like feature it like on Raw and with like the belt he had on his shoulders, because I think that's also like one of like, not trying to compare the two, but like that's I think probably been like Mercedes Monet's like biggest like issue that people are always complaining about, like that she has all these 9 belts and like what is she really doing with those belts? Like they're not promoting it. One time they're just kind of just hanging around the ring. They're not really like put on the focus. And people are saying they're bringing attention to the belts. I can't even name one of those belts. I really don't know. And I think one of those is not even a real belt. The Owen Hart, I thought that was like a tournament belt.
It's supposed to be like a tournament cup, yeah.
Yeah, kind of like the way they treat like I don't know if they're gonna start treating it like that, but like how WWE has the crown jewel title, like that person just keeps that belt. Like that's supposed to be. But anyways, we're not here to talk about AEW Mercedes. But I thought it was pretty cool to see the belt like that. Like showcasing. So it's kind of interesting to see the relationship, how they're gonna grow with it. I don't know if this is true or not. Like, see, we haven't really talked about it, but like Andrade's release from the WWE, apparently from what I heard, I don't know if it's true or not, but I think they wanted him to do kind of work AAA, and I guess like he worked in CMLL, which is obviously the competition for AAA, and so I guess he didn't do that, and so I guess I don't know if that's where it stemmed from, but yeah, I don't know. Kind of curious to see what they're going to go with this relationship. So obviously, because they got the whole thing going on with TNA, which obviously we're probably going to get to in a little bit. I don't know if you saw all those tweets from all the TNA superstars, which I thought was pretty interesting. So it kind of looks like we're heading to like towards like the Asian thing. I don't know if it's going to be like a War Games or like a Survivor Series kind of thing, but it'd be pretty cool to see like a whole like Survivor Series matchup between like AAA versus B versus TNA. I don't know if that's where it's headed. That'd be pretty cool to see, but I don't know. I'm intrigued.
Yeah, and that is a perfect segue here, because also throughout the week here, as far as of yesterday, you guys are listening to this and watching this on Friday, but we're recording this here on Wednesday. Yesterday we had NXT Homecoming. So I try to do a good job of watching NXT live, just because I use a VPN and I watch it on Netflix. It's a lot easier for me to watch it. So I didn't watch last Tuesday. I don't know what I was doing last Tuesday, but I was busy, so I didn't have time to watch it. And then, but I'm like following Twitter and following X with it. And like, I'm seeing all these demo matches being announced. I'm like, dude, what the hell did I miss? the one time that I miss NXT, like all these matches start getting announced here. I'm like, dude, what did I miss? But that was probably like one of like the best. I don't want to say the best thing. It's probably over exaggeration, but like one of the is fun is the word. Like the most fun that I've had, like watching NXT and like the most fun watching wrestling, like not from like a critical standpoint in a very long
It's probably
time.
just because of
I don't know.
I think it's probably just because of like the nostalgia of the black and gold. I
Yeah,
think
and
everybody
that's what I
loves
was.
the black and gold of
Yeah,
NXT.
and that's what it was for me, and that's what it was. Like it was just the overall nostalgia feeling of watching all these guys, men and women, come back, and yeah, and the opening intro did it for me. I'm not too sure if you've seen the intro, but
Yeah, I
like, they
did. I
had
caught
like
on
the
Twitter.
past,
Yeah,
like they show like Bray Wyatt, the Wyatt family, Seth Rollins, Big E, like Paige, Emma, like they showcased everybody, and then the intro then went to the future and it showed everybody. So it was just really, really fun to see. And like there was like no complaint that I have for the show whatsoever. A lot of great match. I was kind of a little bit worried because CW is not like Netflix where they can go over. They're on a 2-hour time limit. And I was
oh
like,
yeah,
man, like
they
they
gotta
were
they gotta they
they
gotta
gotta
get that
move.
Vampire
I'm like, dude,
Diaries
there is
rerun.
so much. They had so much planned for that show. So throughout the show, I'm
Yeah,
like, dude, like, are they gonna be able to fit all this in? Like, is the Waller effect gonna get cut? Like this and that. But they somehow like managed to put all this into 2 hours, and it didn't feel rushed. It didn't feel, short or anything. Like it all felt perfectly timed. So kudos to everybody who's running NXT, Triple H, Shawn
yeah.
Michaels,
Just
shout
shout
him
him out, Shawn
out.
Michaels. Shawn Michaels, shout him out. The Heartbreak Kid.
Which he is going to be on Chris Van Vliet tomorrow. I think on Thursday. So if you haven't, I'm
Oh
curious
yeah,
to see
yeah.
how that's going to go. Stephanie
Yeah, that's
Recur was
gonna be
on today. I
interesting.
watched that one. I watched that one
I
today.
get to see it.
And man, her English is really, really good. I don't know why people are always talking crap about her English. Her English is really good. Cut her some slack. But yeah, it was really fun. I enjoyed it. Seeing Tatum Paxley and Alexa Bliss, that was fun. That was a fun little interaction with, of course, Alexa Bliss with the Lily doll, Tatum Paxley with the little Barbie doll, or whatever the hell. I can act like I know what it's called, but she has a little doll there. Seeing Tyler Breeze, I put out a tweet that Tyler Breeze like hit me in the feels because I feel like back then I was probably like one of the bigger like Tyler Breeze fans. So like seeing him come out, I remember your wife was giving me some. I don't think she liked Tyler Breeze during then when she would watch it. I feel like I
I'd have
remember
to
she would
ask her.
always throw some. I feel like she would always throw some shade to Tyler Breeze. So seeing Tyler Breeze come back out, even with the selfie stick, with the promo, like a vivid memory that I have is him on an episode of NXT when he introduced his music video. Like that's like a vivid memory for whatever reason that I
I do
have.
remember that. Yeah.
So like seeing Tyler Breeze wrestle again, he hasn't missed a step. I don't think he ever lost it, but he's never missed a step. Obviously DIY, Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano coming out to Rebel Heart. That was freaking awesome. Finn Balor coming out to the demon music and doing the little doom, doom, doom. Like that was cool. What else happened there? Obviously the women's trios match at the end between Lyra, that's supposed to be Tiffany, but obviously Tiffany was out of action. I think she's probably dealing with some stuff because that Friday match, I didn't watch SmackDown, but I saw Friday. She took some pretty bad bumps. So I'm pretty sure they're like, hey, you gotta.
I think it was that moonsault that I saw on Twitter. It looked like Jay didn't even like fucking catch her.
No, I was like, all right. So they probably like, all right, girl, you gotta take a little bit of a break there. But Lyra Valkyria sending in for the place. Rhea Ripley, Stephanie Kerr against Fatal Influence. That was a good match. I haven't really bought into the Ricky Saints and Oba Femi, but the Grayson Waller effect really sold me into it. So now I'm really excited for their match at No Mercy. Will it be Ricky Saints' time to take the belt and kind of get Oba Femi back to them up to the main roster? Time will tell on that. But I don't know if I'm missing anything else. Yeah, a lot of the backstage segments were cool. Obviously, Bobby Roode. That was a fun one with Ren Sinclair, Charles Dempsey, and
Shayna Baszler made an appearance.
Shayna Baszler. I popped for Shayna Baszler. I was like, dude, when the fuck am I popping for Shayna Baszler? But it was cool to see her. Obviously, she was part of the unfortunate cuts. But I heard she's been working as an NXT producer, if I'm not mistaken.
I saw her interview on Ariel Lani, and I think it's one of those things where, like, she was there to help. Well, from her side, she said that even when she was down at NXT or even just on the main roster, she would always do that. That she would always sit in Gorilla, I guess, to learn this stuff. And I guess she was there to train with some of the girls. And she stuck around and they asked her like, "Hey, do you want to come?" And I guess I don't know what match she ended up producing. And like a while back. But yeah, I don't know. It's just WWE has this weird thing of releasing people, then bringing them back, and I don't know. Like I don't know if you saw like some quote from Carl Anderson now saying that something about when AJ Styles mentioned him that that's a ticket for them to come back, or I don't know. I don't understand what's going on. So it's a shit show. Who knows?
Yeah, exactly. It really is. But yeah, it was cool seeing Shayna Baszler. So I even kind of popped for like, oh shit, like Shayna Baszler. She was kind of like the last one I didn't think would come back or show an appearance of. But she had like she's one of the longest reigning NXT Women's Champions down there, so it was cool to see her. Damian Priest. That one felt kind of weird. If I'm being completely honest, that one felt like out of the blue. Like
I didn't see that one.
He did a segment with Tavion Heights. So that one was kind of weird. Yeah, so I was like, that's kind of a yeah.
Oh, Sammy's was back there.
Oh yeah, Sammy.
Sammy was back there with Javon Evans.
And it's right when Sami Zayn was cutting his promo, I was like, hey, I know he's gonna kind of compare him to somebody. I was like, dude, the only one that reminds me is it's exactly gonna be Javon Evans. So it was cool seeing them. Kind of had their little moment together, but yeah, overall it was really, really fun, really, really cool. And like you mentioned there, the TNA invasion, it seems like that is what they're going to probably line up for in the future. And I know they had William Regal come out. He did his iconic War Games. So like you mentioned, they're set up for that. I don't know if they'll do like a men and women's type thing. It seemed like it was a lot of the men. The one guy I'm always curious though, like what side he's on or like what would he do is Joe Hendry. Because like Joe Hendry was even in the NXT video package. So like
yeah, I did notice that. I was like, what the heck was he? This dude just popping out of nowhere.
So I don't know if it's part of the meme where like obviously he pops up everywhere, like you say his name and he appears. So I don't know if that was part of it, but he was the only one that was in the pack, like in like the video package. So he would be the only one where I'm like, is he? And I even had to like go and double check. Like, did I miss something? Like, did I miss his like official signing with WWE? Obviously, that's we see Jordan.
Yeah, he's so funny, dude. I was thinking about this the other day. I was like, he's so like with this whole like saying his name when he appears, like it's so gimmicky. Like if he had been around like during like the Vince McMahon era, Jesus, dude.
Vince would have loved him.
Vince would have hated this up. He would have been Vince's #1 guy, dude. Oh man.
So yeah, so when I saw him in the video package, like, dude, what the hell is he doing in there? Like, I had to go back and double check. I'm like, did he sign with WWE and NXT? Like, I just didn't hear about it and I missed it or something. So yeah, he's always the one that it'll be curious to see, what side that he's on, because obviously he is a TNA guy, was TNA World Heavyweight Champion, but now I don't even think he's even been on. I think he is on TNA, but I just don't see it. But I feel like
Jordan Grace would also be like a nice little. I would be on it. It'd be like a nice little like Stone Cold version of it, Invasion, like where he was on team the WWF and then he betrayed them and joined the WCW side. So I don't know, it'd be pretty interesting to see her.
Oh, wait, that she's being booked these days. Hell, I wouldn't be surprised if she wants to like. So that girl needs a W so bad, but I feel like now the turn they're doing with Blake Monroe is like, are you gonna have Blake Monroe kind of go to like the dark S guy and have her take an L at No Mercy? I don't see that happening. If you do, that's just bad booking. Which I haven't really agreed on the booking of Blake Monroe. Like, I didn't like her losing to Kalani Jordan. No disrespect to Kalani Jordan. I like Kalani Jordan a lot. But Blake Monroe dropping her first singles loss to Kalani Jordan on an episode on NXT.
It wasn't clean. There was some interference. There was some
foolery
at least. There's always sometimes gotta look at it that way. If there's like some kind of foolery, going on, I never can really consider it a clean pin. Like I consider clean pin like it's just like the two matches and just that way, or like with the move or something like that. But if there's like some kind of outside foolery, yeah, it's not really clean. So you can't really. But yeah, I do see what you mean. And I haven't really that much into NXT lately. I usually try to watch like the rerun if I can the next following day, or if not, it's just literally what I see on Twitter. So I can't speak Blake Monroe's booking as of late, but I did see that match with her and Kalani. I think that's probably the last time I saw her. Oh, no, then I rerun the previous week, and that's where she got busted open by Jordan.
Busted open, yeah.
And that's when, and they were calling her like what did they call her? I can't remember what Vic Joseph called her. Something, was it like the devil something? I don't know. I can't remember.
So yeah, something devil-esque, kind of hinting back to like the AEW things, but. Yeah, no, I see where you're coming from 100% on that, but yeah, going to be curious to see where that goes moving forward. But yeah, that's what I thought about NXT Homecoming. Again, really fun episode. Really enjoyed it. I think that Teen Aviation is probably going to come. I know I spoke for a lot of that time there, and kind of mentioned kind of this started just shoot balling there. Everybody that we saw, things like that. Do you got any thoughts there? Again, I know you didn't catch it there, but any thoughts there? NXT Homecoming, things you saw on Twitter that you liked, something maybe you would have saw more of or would have liked to have seen. What are your thoughts there on NXT Homecoming?
Not from what I saw, it seemed pretty good. It did seem like a fun show. I do have to go back. I'm gonna try to probably make time tomorrow. Maybe just have it in the background playing. But I did see the video package. I did like callbacks. Even like how they use like the current superstars with the old theme from NXT. Other than that, I think they missed obviously they missed notable names like Undisputed Era. I don't think was like shown in any video packages. Like Mercedes was shown like really quickly in one part. They also mentioned they missed like Keith Lee, Karrion Kross, like that that weren't shown in the video package. The only thing I don't think we brought it up, but I don't know if it was like a joke or he literally this is how it happened, but the Bobby Roode pop, like nobody popped for him from what I seen on the video. So I don't know if people were saying if that was like a rib at him for like he always gets a pop. I don't know. I thought that was pretty interesting, but other than that,
From what I heard is like they filmed it backstage, like it was pre-recorded from what I heard. And I think they said they forgot to cut to like the crowd from what I've heard. I could be wrong. I don't know if that was the thing because you can kind of even look back at it too. It looks, I don't want to say it's awkward, but you kind of tell they're going on. Yeah, they're going on cues. And I think Ren was like trying to do like the best she can with it, but yeah, they were kind of going based off like little cues, and yeah, it looked kind of weird, it looked kind of awkward, but yeah, I think from what I heard is that it was a pre-recorded segment and they forgot to cut to or like they forgot to do the crowd reaction and went from there. But yeah, I did see that. I was like, oh, like does nobody not know who Bobby or Robert Roode is? Like they're kind of disrespecting my guy. You don't forget Glorious. I was part of one of the best interests in NXT, so. Yeah, I thought that was interesting. Also, failed to mention, they showed him, but obviously I know why he's not there. But Kevin Owens, it would have been nice to see like Kevin Owens like actually live in person. Obviously, again, know why he's not there, but would have been cool. He was involved in a lot of the video packages and like the graphics and things like that. But yeah, I forgot that's one notable name there who was a big part of that era. Kind of started that like indie era of everybody kind of going in from Kevin Cena, Kevin Owens, and Baller, Nakamura, guys like that. So want to give our flowers and shout him out to Kevin Owens here. Want to make sure that we're not missing him out.
Shout out to the black and gold, man.
Shout out to the black and gold, man. Shout out to the black and gold. The good days of NXT.
That was a time to be alive, man. That was a time.
It really was. Oof. It even brought me back to when we used to do the NXT event, the standing event. And then, of course, we had NXT TakeOver come in during the Royal Rumble weekend in 2017. So I was like, that's probably still one of like the best weekends that I had as a pro wrestling fan in person. So I was like, man,
those are. Now that I think about it, those are people that didn't even like. I mean, I get why they don't show these, but like, if you can just show them for like just like a snippet or like just acknowledge them, like Enzo Cass, FTR, or the Revival, if you want to call them that, the Vaudevillains. Where they at? Shout them out.
Vaudevillains, the Vaudevillains. Somebody put out a clip of on Twitter today of the Vaudevillains when they introduced Blue Pants. When they went against Blake and Murphy and Alexa Bliss. I'm like, dude, like that's fucking like top moment in NXT. Like that's absolutely insane. It's always funny too. It's a meme that goes. It's a meme that goes around right now. I don't know if you've ever seen the video on YouTube when Simon Gotch like talks shit about Enzo Amore. I don't know if you've ever seen that video on YouTube. I don't think I've seen it, but it's really weird. Like I've watched it like one time, but like when I'm watching like wrestling stuff or WWE stuff, like YouTube always recommends that video. It's really fucking weird. I thought it was just a me thing. But it's a thing that happens on like on wrestling Twitter. Like it's a normal thing. I'll send you the video because it's like a normal thing that happens to like everybody. It's really weird. But yeah, the Vaudevillains there, which actually Aiden English even put out. I forgot what his real name is in TNA, but he even put out a little.
Yeah, he's the commentator on TNA.
He even put out a tweet there yesterday. I don't know the context of the tweet or like know what it said, but it was basically kind of again. Talking about the TNA invasion, I'm pretty sure what happens.
It's gonna next. Yeah, I feel like it's inevitable because like all these guys, that's what like every 5 minutes a new TNA wrestler was like freaking threatening to be in goes. And I think, well, I haven't seen the video clipping, but I think they even mentioned, like, the commentators mentioned it on NXT, like, hey, like, the TNA wrestler
Yeah,
are
they mentioned
threatening
like
us.
every like freaking like 5 minutes.
Yeah, so I think it's, if I'm not mistaken, too, I think next week, I think Oba and Trick are fighting, like, for both titles are on the line. So
Yep.
I don't know. That's a good way to, like, end it, like, in a disqualification, and or how it's gonna lead. I really hope they. I don't want to say I'm sick of the war. Yeah, I'm not sick of it, but I'm also not like, oh, like, war. It's kind of just like the way I feel like about theme pay-per-views, like about the whole Hell in a Cell thing. Kind of feel like it takes away from it. I think they need to go back to, like, the traditional, like, Survivor Series on 5. Or how, if they want to do, like, this invasion angle, if they do, like, the way they did a couple years ago, where it was like Raw versus NXT versus SmackDown. I mean, they could do it like that. That'd be cool too. But yeah, I don't know. I'm intrigued by this invasion angle. So
Yeah,
goes.
that was gonna be my prediction. Like, I'm pretty sure they're gonna go and run in that on that Oba Femi and Trick Williams match and kind of set it up from there and see where it goes from moving on to as we get closer to November and get closer to War Games. But let's talk about the present. Let's talk about what we have right now. We got WrestlePalooza. I don't know how I feel about the name yet. I kind of like it. I think from what I've heard or from what I've done, if my research is correct, I believe it's like an old ECW pay-per-view, which is a funny another rip to Tony Khan, because Tony Khan's like a big ECW guy. So funny little jab out of all pay-per-views you could have pulled out from.
That guy loves ACW, dude.
We're pulling out this one. But we got WrestlePalooza this Saturday. September, I almost said January 20th. Where the fuck is my brain at right now? September 20th, WrestlePalooza. This PLE is the first PLE on ESPN, so it's not on Peacock. If you're international, which every once in a while when I'm bored, I'll go look at the demographics. We do got some people actually listening to the pod outside of the United States. So if you're outside of the United States,
shout them out. Shout them
out. If you listen to the pod outside of the United States, or if you use a VPN, you can watch WrestlePalooza on Netflix. But if you're in the States and you want to follow the good old rules, which technically you're supposed to, again, this is the first PLE that is going to be on ESPN. I try to explain it to my parents, and that was a shit show. So good luck to everybody kind of figure this out. I feel like everybody's going to try to figure this out here. It's going to be a shit show. So good luck, everybody.
Give yourself, you know what you're doing? Open up the ESPN app and try to figure it out right now. Just do it. Do it.
It's like, I tried explaining to my parents on Saturday, and they were fucking confused. So good luck, everybody, because they would watch it on Peacock. So I even had to remind them, like, hey, it's not on Peacock anymore. It's unless you want to watch NXT. So again, it is on ESPN. Obviously, they're bringing out all the big guns, all the showcases here. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of like legends involved, interviews, things like that. Because again, they want to promote this as much as possible. But this is going to be a 5-match card. We got John Cena versus Brock Lesnar. That is just a straight up singles match. I didn't even know this was a thing until we were previewing the card here. We got Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre for the Undisputed Championship. We then got obviously the big, which I think should be the main event, but I don't think they're claiming it as the main event. It is CM Punk and AJ Lee versus Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. We got the Usos versus The Vision, and then we got Io Sky versus Stephanie McCurry. So not a lot of matches, but a lot of good matches. So I'm pretty sure these matches will be lengthy. I'm pretty sure a couple of matches will have some foolery. We'll talk about that here in a couple of minutes right now. But yeah, obviously a lot of the big guns here are coming out. So I'm really excited for it. I'm curious to see how it's going to go. I'm curious how this ESPN thing's going to work out moving forward. I'm really curious to see how this goes moving forward. But let's dive into predictions here. We'll kind of go from what I think is probably like the least anticipated to what I think should be the main event. And we'll kind of just work our way from there. So first off here, we got the tag team match where I'm pretty sure this is going to open up the card. We got the Usos versus the Vision. Pretty interesting. I've been watching Jey Uso and the Usos the last, 2 or 3 weeks. So, kind of showing the heelish tactics. Jey Uso on Monday was on the phone. It was like he was probably like calling Roman, or I know the assumptions are that he was calling Roman, trying to act like Roman. But I love the line that Jimmy Uso said, like, hey, man, you're trying to act like Roman, but I don't see no Ula follow around your neck. Thought that was a dope line, a dope little call back there. So it was nice to see that. And it's like now they are been promoting the Vision as like a tag team. So curious to see, moving forward, like, do they pursue the tag team championships? Things like that, act more as a true tag team, not more of a faction base, which again, with Paul Heyman being out, it kind of seems like that, because obviously Seth and Becky are doing their own thing, and now we got the Vision doing their own thing. So, I mean, am I excited for the match? Yes. I would think here the division will be the ones to be the victors out of this match here. I don't think you're going to have them lose back-to-back matches. As a tag team, obviously, in SummerSlam, I'm losing to Roman Reigns and to Jey Uso. So I don't know if you're going to have that again. And obviously, a loss here could kind of show, there's still some, inter turmoil, I guess, in between the Usos and what they got going on right now. So this one here, I would give it to the Vision.
Yeah, I think I think I agree with you on this one too. I think a loss for the Usos will kind of you might a little bit of that heelish Jey Uso and kind of get back to like that real main event Jey Uso that we saw like during the COVID times when he really shined by himself or was when he was with Roman and stuff like that. Um, Before all the Yeet stuff and stuff like that. But I think a loss for them would really show. Like obviously, there's like how you said, they're not really like fully back together yet, which I think actually they will be back together. I think it's kind of inevitable that they will be back together. But I don't kind of see it right now, so I don't know if this may be like another one shot tag team for them and see where it goes. But yeah, I'm honestly just kind of ready for this to just this storyline to just go. Like every Monday's just kind of getting repetitive. It's like one or the other against either Braun or and Braun Breaker or fucking Bronson Reed, and then like it ends in a DQ or somebody wins clean, and the next thing you know, like LA Knight's coming out or Jay's coming out. And it's just kind of just predictable at this point. We've been doing this for like 2 months or more or less. So yeah, I'm just kind of ready for this to be over with. I hope this is the end of it, man.
No, and I'm in the same boat. I was watching Friday, so it's funny because usually, again, I watch SmackDown. I mean, SmackDown. I watch Raw on my iPad typically, just so I could use the VPN and all that good stuff. But obviously, Mrs. Moon 3PO has been tuned in into Raw recently. Obviously, with her, it helps that we have AJ Lee back on Monday Night Raw, so we've been watching on the big TV. So we had the Seth Rollins happen there, and I watched it for a little bit, and I was like, oh, okay, we can turn it back to whatever you want. I can put it back on my iPad for background. She's like, that's all you're gonna watch? I was like, yeah, because I already know the way it's gonna end. Like, I already know this match is not gonna be. It's gonna be okay, and then we're also gonna have some sort of run in, and then obviously kind of go from like back to what we've been talking about. Roman's like you can't trust nobody, things like that, and obviously yeah. So it's been really repetitive. Yeah, hopefully this is kind of the end. So I would honestly like to see the Vision after this victory. I'm speaking like I know the damn outcome, but if they do become victors, I would like to see them actually go and actually pursue the tag team championship. I think if you want to build that faction up, having Seth Rollins as a world heavyweight champion, Becky Lynch as your IC champion, and having the Vision as your tag team champions, I think that would be really fun to see. Kind of stabilize that faction a little more, because I've been very vocal about the faction, saying like I haven't really bought into it yet. And still haven't been bought into it yet, because obviously minus from Seth Rollins, like they've been taking some L's. So I mean, if you really want to build this up and kind of build some stability to it, I think having some tag team gold would help with that. So be curious to see if that's what they run moving forward after this whole Uso thing gets wrapped up here, and they can go back to feuding with with LA Knight, which I feel like that man just kind of skipped the bloodline. So RIP to LA Knight. So this guy just can't get away. Next match here. Oh, I guess we'll throw it to what from excitement level. Which one would I be?
I mean, if you want, we could do Cody and Drew, because literally just got thrown in, like literally.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I was going to be after this one.
So, I was under impression that was probably going to be like Drew and Randy, but I mean, they threw death on them. And it's for the WWE title, so.
And it's for the Undisputed title. Oh yes, and it's a singles match. I thought maybe they'd done like a no DQ type thing, or false count anywhere type match, have some type of stipulation to it. Obviously, again, being on ESPN, you want to try to, exemplify this card, kind of get it a little bit more exciting, add a little more extra juice to it. But nope, it is just a straight up singles match here. Yeah, again, this one here, I would say pretty predictable. I don't think we're going to have Cody drop the belt so fast. I think he'll probably be on another lengthy reign. Do I think Drew McIntyre deserves a title reign? Yes. Will the time come? Maybe eventually, who knows? I know you're a big Drew McIntyre guy now, since you have a 101, which you guys want to know that story, go check out the last episode. But yeah, this one here, pretty predictable. I do got Cody Rhodes. Maybe we get a little bit crazy. Maybe we get like a Randy Orton, run in, maybe maybe go turn to a heel, maybe attack Cody. I know that's something that's been, talked about, for months now. I know they kind of hinted it, months ago as well. So maybe that's a thing that happens. Who knows? But yeah, this one here, I do got Cody Rhodes here retaining the Undisputed Championship.
Yeah, me too. I don't think they're going to take the title off Cody anytime soon. That's why I'm kind of surprised that they put this match on, especially with where Cody on the card against Drew. That's why I was thinking maybe they were going to do like a Drew versus Randy, and Drew to get the dub over Randy Orton and stuff like that. But obviously Cody's here. Obviously it's ESPN. I'm pretty sure they want all the big dogs on thing, kind of like how Saudi Arabia claims to want all the big guys too. Anyways, that's another day. But yeah, I don't see Drew winning here. But hopefully maybe there, like I said, will be fully around. I don't think it'll probably go cleanly. Maybe we'll get like a little flashback to like how when Cody did like the crossroad Kevin Owens on the steel chair, maybe something like that. To be seen. But yeah, I got Cody retaining here and walking up champ.
Yeah, so do I. Yeah, and good callback there to the Kevin Owens match there. Maybe have some type of foolery involved with this one here. Let's keep it with the tag. Let's keep it with some championship gold. We got Io Sky versus Stephanie Verker for the singles match here for the vacant women's world championship. This one here, I was kind of going back and forth on it, but this one I do have Verker taking it. I would love to see Io. I would love to see Io take it. The thing that just worries me about Verker taking the title is that like they didn't really do much with Io that wasn't involved with Rhea. And it seems like Rhea is still going to be somewhat involved, like in this Io, Asuka, and Kairi Sane type situation. So, and I know Rhea again mentioned to, 70, whoever it is, like, I'm going to be next. But I don't think that will be really the case. I could be wrong, but the way I'm just seeing the way the program has been going on recently, like, I think Rhea is going to be sort of tied in this Asuka situation there. So in my head, I'm like, as Verkura's champion, like, who is capable, or I don't want to say capable, but who else can go for after 70 Verkur? Like, I don't think it's Roxanne Perez yet. I think she's still, young to be, or involved in other situations there. Like, is it Raquel Rodriguez? Even though she's been putting on some great work recently. So the thing I just worry about it from this perspective is that they give her the belt and they don't do anything with her, which we kind of already saw already. Like, she came into the debut, she main roster debuted, kind of had a couple of matches here and there, and then she was put off TV. It's been explained that she was off learning English. I don't know if that was the reason why. She did confirm that Chris Van Vliet that she was taking time to learn English. I don't know if that was the thing. I really can't confirm that. That's just the way that I interpret it. But yeah, my biggest fear would just be like if she wins the gold, they're really have nothing else to do with her, and she's kind of just like a shelf champion. That's the thing I just worry about at this time. But yeah, this one here, I do got Stephanie Verkur taking this one.
Yeah, I got Stephanie Verkur winning this one too. And honestly, like I think the first opponent you can link her up to and still keep within this same storyline is Asuka. Honestly, like you can immediately throw Asuka in there, and obviously it can still play into the whole Io thing. Like, oh, like you said, you can beat her and you did it by yourself. Now I can go and do it. Blah blah blah. So you can kind of play into like that healer still, that side that we're seeing Asuka see. Because yeah, for that reason, I like with everything that's going on between like the Kabuki Warriors and Io and Rhea, that whole thing. Which, can we talk about the Kyrie?
Kyrie, the little thing. I'm glad you brought it up. I'm glad you brought it.
Gold, dude. I fucking love it, dude. I fucking yell every time. But yeah, like kind of just playing into that. Like I think that stuff is like its own story. Like obviously I think eventually we're also gonna get a seems inevitable, like an Asuka and Io kind of match. But yeah, I think Asuka could be like a first perfect like heelish opponent for Stephanie, and then from there, I mean, if they want to go down like Rhea, I don't know how they're gonna do that, or like what you could build towards, like what's after to be like what Survivor Series maybe.
Survivor Series,
and then you got the Rumble, which yeah, that's true. But then you have the I'm assuming Liv is probably going to come back in the Rumble, so I don't know if maybe she's going to, that's further away down the line. But yeah, I think if they want to stick within that same storyline, I mean, I think Asuka would be like a pretty good opponent for her. first opponent. So, but yeah, I don't know, man. Bring back Dakota Kai and she'll fix everything going on with the damage control. So this is just my 2 thoughts.
It's been nice seeing Dakota Kai being on the interwebs again. I don't
Yeah,
watch
man.
it,
She
but
just
I know
she just be chilling apparently, man.
she just popped up out of nowhere.
Be
Like,
chilling.
oh, it's nice seeing you again. I don't know if it was a class thing or obviously, taking a break is definitely justifiable in that sort of business. But yeah, it's been nice seeing her. I believe she hangs out with Selena Vega, which if you guys listen to the pod, you guys know the very comment that I have for Selena. Again, I'm sure she's a fine person. She's a great wrestler. But
I hear she's lovely in person.
probably, man. I'm pretty sure if I ever meet Alex, I'm sure if Alex or Black, like, listen, ever was the one day hear this pod, I'm getting a fucking black mass of the face one day. break my arm a little bit. I know they're into the martial arts stuff, but yeah, you guys know I'm not the biggest fondest person of Selena Vega when it comes to in-ring work, I guess I would say, or character work, I guess I would say. So yeah, I know she hangs out with her a lot. So I always see them, like, they have clips of it on Twitter and stuff like that. So like, that's cool. Seeing Selena Vega, not Selena Vega, seeing Dakota Kai pop up again on the feed. Be curious to see if she eventually goes to AEW or does some like GCW stuff or some other side of work. I know Shotzi's been killing it out there. So yeah, be curious to see where that goes here moving forward. But now let's head into the singles men's match here. We got John Cena versus Brock Lesnar. Now they are promoting this here as the main event. Should this be the main event? Hell no. I love John Cena. Do not get me wrong. I get it 100%. I just do not think this should be the main event for obvious reasons. Obviously, there's another match here on this card that I think obviously deserves everything and more than just the main event itself. It deserves all the praise, the promotion, all that good stuff. But we do got Cena and Lesnar here. Again, they are promoting it from what I've heard as the main event. This one here can kind of, I can see both cases. Like, do we really have Lesnar come back and lose? Like, if we're treating him as Brock Lesnar, are we really going to have John Cena lose his first PLE on ESPN on his retirement tour? Like, is that a thing? Where do we go from here? Like, is this a one-off like we've been seeing Cena do with all his other retirement matches? Is this going to be a thing where they have one more match? So that's the thing where I'm kind of like in between. If I was to pick one right now, I would pick John Cena. I wouldn't really have him. And granted, yes, he beat Logan Paul, but I wouldn't really have him win, lose. I would have him be on a streak of wins. So yeah, I would pick John Cena right now. I don't know if that's the right answer, but I can see why somebody.
It's
I don't
the
know
only answer. It's the only answer.
I can see why somebody would pick Lesnar. I can't see it, but me, I would book John Cena to win. I feel like that just I feel like your response there just gave me the answer that you may have. But yeah, I would hope that John Cena is the victor coming out of WrestlePalooza.
Yeah, I mean, win or loss, like Brock Lesnar is gonna obviously probably disappear. We're not gonna see him until like Crown Jewel probably. Which I don't know if that's after this. If that is that Cena's next appearance, is that Crown Jewel?
Let me check. That is a good question. See.
Yeah, it just wouldn't make sense to have Cena lose this one. Specifically, I feel like every time Brock and Cena link up, I feel like it's always John Cena taking the L anyways. So
yeah. Where is
and the fact that Brock's been kicking his ass these past couple of times too, like he's got to get his legs back, man. But yeah, I don't think I honestly can't see Cena losing this one. There's just no way. There is no way.
Well, actually, Cena kind of goes away for a little bit.
Does he go?
So looking at it here, yeah. So looking at it here, WrestlePalooza the 20th, and then he has Crown Jewel on October 11th. So he'll be gone for about like 2.5-ish weeks.
So I mean, that kind of leans down the line we were thinking. If Brock takes his L or takes his dub, maybe they run it back at Crown Jewel. Because what are you going to build towards? Like, specifically for Cena, like, what are you going to build for? What are you going to build towards in 2 weeks?
Yeah.
You know, those fucking Saudi people love Brock Lesnar and John Cena.
Damn. So yeah, I guess I don't know. I guess maybe that changes the answer then. But I was so pick Cena. I mean, there's people in our household who love Brock Lesnar who won't be upset about a victory for Brock Lesnar.
My heart says Cena, but looking like at booking wise, I don't know. It might say Brock Lesnar, honestly. Just because I mean, it would make sense if they just disappear and then they run it back at Crown Jewel. But are they really gonna waste 2 matches on Brock? I don't know.
Because I guess it goes back to, I think we talked about this last pod or 2 pods ago, is like, where are we going from here? I think that's the thing that we were trying to like figure out. I think it was
that's where I'm at too. Yeah, I think that's where I'm at too. I feel like I would only feel like Cena would take losses if it's to put somebody over. The way Cody, obviously Cody's the golden goose now. So like people I see him losing to would be like, I don't know, like who'd be like a perfect example, like an Obafemi-esque kind of guy. You know what I mean? Somebody like that esque. Or I know there was rumors of Gunther, but I don't know like how I know he had that surgery procedure. I don't know how long far out he is, but I know that was always talked about, like Gunther being like one of his final opponents, like people like that, who's obviously here and going to be here for the long run. Are we going to see another Roman Reigns match between and stuff like that? So I don't see him losing or them using 2 matches on Brock. So, but I could be wrong, and I've been wrong before, and I will continue to be wrong probably. So.
And I know a big thing that we talked about too, where like you had your big thing here was that obviously one thing that Cena does not have under his belt is being a Grand Slam champion and being an IC champion. But now it looks like we're going to be getting a Rusev and Dirty Dom per what we saw on Monday Night Raw. So it'll be curious to see again. Maybe they do a Cena Rusev. You know, they people might be like, oh, why are you going to do Cena Rusev?
Bury him again.
They had a very lengthy feud back at WrestleMania. So I mean, like people go by like, oh, like why would you do that? They had a very lengthy feud. Granted, is it like the most appealing and most like drawn name? No, but it's something that again that Cena does have history with. So maybe that is a thing they do. Time will tell. But yeah, the heart in me, the fan in me wants to see John Cena win this, and I will stick with my decision here as John Cena as victor. But again, would not be surprised based on what we just saw and what we're reading here if Lesnar is the victor coming out of this match. Now, heading off into what's my main event and probably what the whole 99.99% of WWE's fans' main event here for WrestlePalooza is going to be the mixed tag team match here between Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch and CM Punk and the returning AJ Lee, who is having her first official WWE match in over 10 years. Again, like I mentioned here in the kind of in between, is like obviously I've been my wife and I have been very in tune. Obviously, I'm very in tune with it. I wouldn't be doing this if I wasn't in tune with it. But even my wife being in tune with it as well. Very, very excited for this match. And obviously, there's really not much here else to explain as far as why we're excited for this. It's AJ freaking Lee and CM Punk together. I think they had one tag team match like on a random episode of Raw, if I'm not mistaken, but obviously it wasn't like this. They're not a married couple, blah, 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 and going against another, heated rivalry, which again, want to shout them out, want to tip my cap to Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. They've absolutely been killing it in this feud as well. Like they'll work together. I know we talked about last episode too, how like Seth Rollins and Becky didn't want to really like work together because that felt forced. Like this to me just feels very natural. Obviously them being married helps that, but this is feud between them two and between CM Punk and AJ. Like just like I don't know. It just feels very natural. It doesn't feel forced. It's very easy. So I've been enjoying everything about this, and it's not just me just being a homer. The segment they had on Monday Night Raw was hilarious. Obviously we talked about on Friday too, like how Becky sold it. So yeah, everything here has just been absolutely phenomenal with the work. So tip my cap to everybody that's been involved here with this. So we do a lot of shout outs in this episode, but we're gonna shout them out as much as we can. Shout out to everybody that is involved in this segment here in this feud and promo. Kurt's gonna see where it's gonna go after this, but before we do that, as far as my predictions here, I do not see a world where CM Punk and AJ drop this. Like, there's absolutely no way they can lose this. I think Becky, I don't think you have Seth Rollins take the pin. I think we're gonna see AJ, either do the Black Widow and Becky Lynch taps, or do some sort of, maybe she introduces a new finisher and pins Becky Lynch so they can then suit up for an IC title battle for the official title. Like, I think that will have to be the more logical way to get into that. But yeah, again, I do not see a world, and if there is a world in it, I don't want to live in it. Where CM Punk and AJ Lee drop their first match together again, and AJ Lee drops her first match in over 10 years. So I would have CM Punk and AJ Lee taking this one.
Ooh. Yeah, this one's yeah, I could see it. I do think that Punk and AJ Lee take up here. We're on the same card and stuff like that. So it's it's funny as hell. Yeah, like I said, I think obviously Punk's been on the shit end of the stick when it comes to L's, when it comes to Rollins and stuff like that. So I think it's time to get some licks back. Same thing for AJ. Like, I don't think they're gonna have her lose her debut or her return match on the debut on their ESPN PLEs and stuff like that. Because also in my head too, I'm thinking like, man, do you want? Well, I mean, it's not main eventing anyways, but I'm like, do you want like one of your main titles to be on the losing side on your debut or ESPN? But I don't really think. Hopefully, they don't care about that kind of stuff. Yeah, but it's gonna be really interesting to see where they go with this. It was funny. I was thinking about it. I was like, damn. I was like, comparing the mid card title from like Raw and SmackDown is like just like the booking, the way they've been doing this is completely crazy. Like, it's even when you talk about the IC title, it doesn't even feel like a mid card level like belt. Like, it's just like it's that much more elevated. And I don't know if it's just Becky's doing or it's just the way. I mean, it could be honestly because Becky's great. So like, but the way like the mid card title is treated at SmackDown with Julia, like, it's just like the comparisons are just
5-minute matches
crazy.
with Michin.
Oh, like how many titles are gonna give Michin? Like, come on, like it's ridiculous at this point.
No disrespect.
Like, yeah, I'm sure she's a lovely lady. Like, but God, oh man, I just can't anymore. Can't. They need a
no.
They need to get Jordan and who else can give him, and can honestly like raise that mid card title and help like establish him with Joy. Like, they need to get Jordan Grace up there. I mean, for guys, it's probably Kalani up there already. I know there was talks about like Sol Ruka coming up too. Like, or take her up there and take Zarya with you too. Like, that mid card title in SmackDown needs some help, man. Like, they be struggling.
Yeah, it really does, man. Like, I was thinking about that the other day too. I was like, or obviously when AJ Lee returned, they had the Julia and Michin match as well. But yeah, that division, man, it's overall SmackDown just needs like a lot of help. If it's like a Kalani Jordan, Jordan Grace, obviously she's the heel right now, so I think. I don't know if they will put her to SmackDown, but like even JC Jane and like Fatal Influence can go over there, can kind of go help. I would think. I think, maybe when we do our prediction for No Mercy for NXT, I do think JC Jane will probably drop the belt to Lola Vice.
I think so too. Yeah.
Like maybe, and then obviously that can get them to the main roster. Jasmine X and Fallon Henley, Grant, are they like the biggest names on NXT? No, but they do pretty good work. So I think that can maybe help. Granted, yes, they're heels and Julia is a heel per se, but like, yeah, that division in general over on SmackDown just needs a lot of help. There's nothing against Julia. We adore Julia. It's just been the stuff that she's been given. And yeah, I think obviously Becky Lynch being a seasoned pro, I think helps a lot. And yeah, everything that she touches, man. Like, I've never been like a big, like, out of the 4 horsewomen, like Becky was like, I was never big on Becky. Like I never like disliked her, but she was never the one like I was like, oh yeah.
Becky was my third. I was Sasha, Bailey, Becky, and then Charlotte. That was mine.
See, I was flipped. I was Bailey, Sasha, Becky, Charlotte.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, I'm loving this thing they're doing with Bailey right now. I know.
Oh, dude, yeah.
I've been loving everything they're doing.
And it's also, I know we talked about, I think last week too, like Lyra's like quirkiness. It just into this past week with their reaction.
Who's funnier, Lyra or Kari?
Oh man, you're putting me on the spot. Damn. I think it's got to be Lyra, probably.
Lyra, right? Okay, I agree. No,
Because
I don't know. That's pretty much
Lyra
hot
makes
take.
herself funny with like all like the hanks and stuff like that and her reactions. The Kyrie's funny because of Asuka, like Kyrie, like so it's like but yeah, I'm gonna roll with Lyra on this one. Lyra is the funnier one. The quirkiness
Yeah,
fucking kills me, bro.
yeah, the backstage that Bailey had with her, that was pretty funny. Like, yeah, Bailey making the save and kind of being serious a little bit, having the mix of like the move set of like Ding Dong and then being Hugger Bailey. Like, I don't even remember her ever doing like it's been a long time that I can recall, like when she's on the oh, and then she did the Bailey
Yeah.
to belly to Bailey or Bailey to belly. And then her seeing a hug everybody, kiss Corey Graves on the forehead. So yeah, yeah, the work that she's doing right now is absolutely phenomenal. I put a tweet out there like that's gonna do absolute wonders for her because I've always felt like, as much of the Bailey fan that I am, I always felt like she's the one that gets like she's like the redheaded stepchild out of all of them, in my personal opinion. Like, the way she gets from the treatment that she gets. So hopefully this turns the tide here. And hell, maybe I don't know. Maybe that leads to some AJ matches in the future. Maybe we'll get her back in maybe Becky goes back to the IC title. Obviously, Lyra can't challenge for it. Somebody needs to. So if that's Becky, if that's AJ, Bailey, whoever the case may be, but going to be very interesting to see where they go from this moving forward. But yes, that is WrestlePalooza. No disagreements here on this one. So usually every card, we usually have like one or two where we're kind of disagree on, but we're all in the same agreement here. So that makes for some fun content here moving forward. We kind of see how much we know about wrestling, how much we know they're right, or how much we don't know shit about anything. So make sure you do stay tuned for that. We will have our post reaction to WrestlePalooza probably the following week. So again, if you guys are following, make sure you are following the socials here on Twitter, Instagram. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you are subscribing and liking and commenting down below. That helps supports me and so that you guys want to see this content moving forward. And of course, if you're listening on Spotify and Apple, please make sure to follow, subscribe, leave a rating on there. Make sure you do hit the bell notification so you guys know when an episode does drop. But again, that is WrestlePalooza. Again, September 20th, this Saturday on ESPN Unlimited, from what I've heard they're calling. I think they're calling it Unlimited. It's not just ESPN, ESPN Unlimited. So make sure you do go check. Make sure that you go check that out. But let's get into a little bit of hobby talk. Again, if you guys have been following my socials here, at Moon3PO, I do a lot of my daily uploads, all my videos here, kind of going the in-betweens of the hobby, what's coming out. We have a lot of Topps Now cards. We have the AJ Lee print run got announced. That was over 14,000. I know we were kind of, saying, I wouldn't be surprised if we get Topps Chrome, not Topps Chrome, but Chrome cards, but still for a return card with no autographs, no inscriptions. Like that's a big amount. That was the fourth highest amount there. Again, I talked about that on my socials. Dirty Dom right now has an inscription out there right now, which I just posted a TikTok about that as well. It looks like he's not a fan of the inscription. I don't know if that's just him just being a heel or like he's really not a fan of the inscription. I really can't tell. But I still made a video about it. And obviously right now there's the mega triple auto right now that's going to be out there. You have until September 20th. So it has Lyra Vicarious, Sandy Vicur, and Rhea Ripley on card autograph 1/1. That's going to be a huge card. Curious to see what that amount will go for once and if and when it is eventually pulled. Like we talked about here, it's been about 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks since Cactus Jack. We do got Topps Finest coming out next Friday on September 26th. So that's going to be a fun set to collect. We'll probably talk about that a little bit more maybe next week as we hopefully get. I don't think we've had like a checklist officially announced yet. We've still just been going based off images and previews. So we got some more previews here coming out, but
which I think from the last time we did the pod or last time we talked about it, I think now we've seen images of the Ulafala cards, which those are pretty sick. And we're going to see the I think what are they called? The Dark Persona ones. I know we saw the White Six ones, Bray Wyatt, the Fiend. So images are slowly starting to come. So I'm excited for it. So obviously we'll probably do a couple of breaks here and there, then chase the singles. But yeah, some of these hits are looking pretty sweet.
Yeah, again, I talked about here the Ula Fala ones. I knew we talked about last pod that was going to be a case hit. Now we got the images of it. So we had I think 4 images. We had The Rock, we had Roman Reigns, Solo Sikoa, Jey Uso, and Jimmy Uso. So we had 5 confirmed members. Going to be curious to see if we get the other members, like if it's going to be like a full blood. I would think, like
I'm
if we're
pretty
probably gonna get
sure.
like
Yeah,
a
like I'm
Nick
pretty sure gonna get.
Fatu,
I'm pretty sure you can get
the
Alpha and
Tongans.
Sika. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you have to. The High Chief Peter Maivia got to be in there.
Does Yokozuna have cards?
I don't know, but he would be. Man, I haven't seen his cards. It's probably got to be like an issue, probably.
Because he's in 2K,
He
right?
is in 2K.
Yeah,
he is in 2K. He has a 2K, but I can't ever recall seeing like a Yokozuna card. So I don't know. I mean, that would make a good way for him to get back into the product, having a case hit or something.
Right.
Like that.
I was thinking about that when I made the video. I was like, I know we got 5 members confirmed. I was like, I'm pretty sure we're gonna get a Fatu. I'm pretty sure we're gonna get the Tongans. I'm pretty sure we'll get some other Rikishi. We'll probably get some other members in there. But I was like, man, like it's been a while since I can remember. I could be wrong. Like I don't remember ever seeing.
You can throw Naomi in there also.
You can throw oh yeah, that's a good. You can throw I was like you could throw Tamika on there, but I don't think she's even within like licensing and things like that. I haven't seen any of her stuff.
Yeah, she's not, but she's what? She's a cousin to the Usos, right? I think
something like that.
I don't know. Apparently, everybody. You seen that video of the? It was like late when Zilla Fatu. They're like, I'm gonna tell you who it is, and tell me like he's like, oh, it's my cousin. That's my cousin.
Uncle.
Your cousin. Uncle.
He's like, I'm still learning. Yeah, I just see that. I was like, dude, this is just like us. He don't even know his own family tree, and nobody else does either. So
there you go.
Yeah, that was a fun one there. The Dark Personas, that's gonna be like the best chase hit for me. Definitely gonna be targeting the Wyatt 6 for sure. I'm gonna be curious to see how like breakers do that one. Like, are they gonna do like Uncle Howdy? Are they gonna group them all together?
Honestly, it's probably gonna. I mean, depending on how that. But I think if that card gets pulled, it's probably like if they do it like by individual wrestler, like if they pull that card, it's probably gonna get randomized by
Like,
that's what I thought. Yeah, because that's the way they did the headshots cards. And I recall seeing a couple of breaks like that. I'm like, damn, that sucks. My stomach would hurt all day if that should happen to me. Like,
yeah, that would fucking piss me off.
Yeah.
That would fucking piss me off.
You better give me some damn Fanatics credit back for this shit.
Yeah, that would piss me off to see that. So yeah, hopefully if they're a breaker out there, hopefully they just group all the White 6 members.
Just group the White 6 together.
Yeah, but they just group them together. We'll pay the extra coinage for it. Who knows? So that's gonna be a fun one. The Fiend Bray Wyatt, that's gonna be a fun one as well. There's like the Master Finest, the memorable moments. So yeah, there's a lot of good looking inserts out there. We'll preview a little bit more on officially on release week. Hopefully we get a checklist, maybe some odds and outs as well, so we can kind of dive into that into deeper detail. Obviously it's been a little bit more release week since Cactus Jack. We've been seeing more cards in hand. It seems like the market it's been up in the air for Cactus Jack from what I've seen personally. Like base cards, again, they're base cards. Those are like, $1, $2, depending on who you're buying. The inserts, when it comes to like regular inserts and like non-numbered, like those have been going pretty cheap depending on the superstar that you're targeting and or buying. It's more of the numbered cards, obviously for good reason, and the parallels that I think the market is still trying to figure out like what exactly are the pricing of it. Like I had my CM Punk Festival Fury, that's numbered out of 99. Like there hasn't really been a market for that, as minus from in-person deals. I was able to obtain a Tiffany Stratton Rodeo Rebels out of 99 on a green. Like even that still doesn't have like an established market where it's like pretty consistent. There's been some other inserts here that I've been keeping my eye on. Some of the parallels as well. Like it just seems like it's been a real awkward time, and I think it doesn't really help that we still didn't get like any confirmation of odds. And I think it also just shows like as well, like there's some people who do like them and some people who don't. But I think my one big key takeaway from this product is going to be scarcity. Obviously there's a lot of it out there, we see that, but I think when it comes to scarcity, as far as of like inserts, the numbers, the autographs, obviously autographs are not guaranteed per box. So I mean, if you pull an autograph of somebody, I mean, like obviously, it's $300 to $400 a box, but like An auto, from what I've seen, has been going from anywhere from like $30 to $50, depending on who you're buying or whoever that you're buying, because it's so hard to pull an auto. So, like, I know for me personally, I've been trying to target Uncle Howdy autographs. I've only seen like one sale of like $120. So, I think for me right now, I think it's still kind of early to tell what these cards are going to do long run. I think scarcity obviously is going to help with these parallels, the inserts. Obviously, it doesn't help as well that Topps Finest is also coming out. I think where the market is trying to, like, we kind of see it in baseball too, where like Bowman could come out and then we got like Top Series 2 comes out, or like Bowman Chrome or something else comes out, where it's just like a lot of cards flood the market, and it's just going to be up to the buyers and or collectors, like what cards they value more or what cards do they want to buy into. So if you're into like, trying to invest, flip, things like that, obviously you've got to be a little bit strategic on what you're trying to look for and kind of have to study the market a little bit to see what exactly is moving. But I'll throw it to you, bro, because I know you have some pretty big key cards for yourself as well. I know you've been trying to like stabilize these markets here, trying to see like what's going to move, what's not moving. What's been your overall opinion from what you've seen? And do you think this Cactus Jack set eventually will hold and retain the pricing that can maybe bring some key sufficient funds there in the future and or for present flips?
Yeah, I mean, I think the value is definitely gonna be there, and I don't think it's gonna go. I don't want to say it's not gonna go down, but I don't see it anytime soon. Just because I don't think we're also probably not gonna get another Cactus Jack set. So I kind of feel this is kind of it. I was also kind of like surprised to see the price of the actual box start to come down from like from card shops and breakers and stuff like that. So that was, and it was really interesting to see that even on Fanatics it hadn't come down. So that was pretty interesting to see that part. But yeah, I think it comes like to the inserts and stuff like that. Like I think that's kind of for me what makes the sets. I know we're talking about this for a little bit, but like if you really want a base card of somebody, outside of like Zarya and Jordan Grace, like this exact same render from the WrestleMania set. So, and you get the little, nice little WrestleMania logo on. But if you don't want the logo, then you can obviously just come to the hobby side and get that card. So the singles I wasn't really too sure about, or wasn't too worried about. It's like these inserts, like the Cactus Jack, red and black play, the white refractors, all the speckles and numbers card. Like even when we're in breaks, like it's kind of hard to see like the guarantees in a case, and it's very low. So to see the prices starting to set, and obviously I'm keeping my eyes on like the Kings of the Night set, just because I have the Drew Superfractor. And so I've had some people reach out to me on eBay, like trying to make deals, but they're kind of just like nowhere near where I'm at. Just because like there's a Jey Uso sold for 2,800. Apparently there was a Seth Rollins that sold for 2. I can't find it anywhere besides eBay. I was also looking it up earlier. There was a Rock Superfractor that sold for like 5,500. So it just, you can see the difference of, I mean, there's other 101s that have sold, but they're like of the lesser known wrestlers. Like I think there's like a Ludwig Kaiser I saw sold for $300. There's also some of like the lesser known legends, like let me see if I can find it real quick. I think there was a Kurt Angle sold for 899, a Shinsuke sold for 585, and these are superfractors of that set. Where's the other one that I saw? There was a lesser known. I don't know who it was. I don't know if it was like a Bob Backlund or a King Kong Bundy, but it sold for like $200. Of like, yeah, like that kind of wrestler. So it's just
Bob Backlund on Kings of Night, 101. Shout him out.
Shout him out, man. So yeah, the market's just kind of just all over the place right now. I'm just trying to find that right selling point for me, because obviously Drew McIntyre is a top WWE superstar. He's schmuck, so I feel like he deserves a rightfully respectable price. So yeah, I'm holding out on that, and I have a Lyra that's I think it's the Rodeo Rebels number to 25 orange. There's only one sale, and it sold for 50, which I thought was incredibly low. So I'm holding on that, especially too that now she's a lot more involved on the TV and seems to be like a prominent wrestler and character on television. I think it also shows that they chose her to replace Tiffany Stratton on the NXT match. So, and her auto is on that card with Stephanie and Rhea. So I mean that kind of shows too how they feel about Lyra. So yeah, I think that was a little bit of a low price. I feel like I don't know if there's any else on the market right now. Like I said, these a lot of these cards are kind of hard to pull. We don't know the odds of them, so I think we just know like we know you're guaranteed like what 4 autos or 4 number cards per box, right? I think if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, give or take
Somewhere along the
about
lines.
4 number cards. You're guaranteed at least 1 played
There you go.
of per box, which I mean is 100 base set. So you do the math, 1 out of 100, of pulling out your favorite superstar. I think black and yellow, or like the yellow flame. I don't know the odds of that, but I know those are kind of hard to pull too. The white refractors, I think, are 1 per, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, there's still just a lot of uncertainties of what the rarities are. Which I mean, if you're a buying man, a betting man, that can make for a good flip. If like myself, like I don't want to say I put a lot of money into it, but I did make some like strategic buys. Like I think this card could do a little bit more in the future. I think this superstar could do a little bit more in this card. So like obviously you guys know I was buyer of Ricky Saints, so I'm still keeping an eye on some Ricky Saints stuff. Kind of looking here, like I'm just like going through some autos here on eBay really quickly as we were kind of like just looking at some things here. So like freaking there's some like big key legend autographs here, but like a Trick Williams went for $35. The Astro Knights, Hulk Hogan went for $349. Undertaker Fame Phantoms 10 out of 10 went for $661. A Tiffy's doing $228. Last Legend is doing anywhere from $30. Chelsea Green is doing $133. Raquel out of 25 to $150. A Cody Red 5 auto did $1,000. Who else? Nikita Lyons is pushing $100. She did 87 on an orange. Who else is on here? This really quickly kind of Alexa Bliss on a refractor did $183. Like even that's kind of crazy. Just because again, it kind of just shows again like how rare these autos are. Oh, this might help me out a little bit. Astro Knights Johnny Gargano did $13.50 in bids. Hey, there we go. Jordan Grace rookie refractor auto did $202. So yeah, I mean you can, and a regular one did $206. So you kind of see here, just depending on the superstar, kind of goes from all over the place. But I think that's what I like about the set here. It's kind of like unpredictability. Unpredictability is kind of exciting a little bit when it comes to cards. So we don't really know what it is and things like that. So you really have to be smart if you're, into flipping like myself, or you just want to collect like myself. Here I have my Uncle Howdy and Bray Wyatt little side case here going on here. I think the white 6 just fit the set so perfect. So yeah, I that's why I just been a big fan of these cards here in general. But yeah, that's what we had there on Cactus Jack. Again, we'll have some more Topps finals next week. Hopefully we get some more confirmations, track lists, inserts, things like that, so we can kind of go into that into more detail. So stay tuned for that. We'll probably have a YouTube video, and obviously we'll have a podcast talking about it all here. So make sure, again, you are following and subscribe to the channel at Moon3PO. And again, if you're listening on Spotify, Apple, make sure you are following, subscribing, and leaving a rating wherever you are getting your podcast. But before I officially wrap everything here, Bro Pio, do you got any final thoughts here for the good old listeners of collecting the 1, 2, 3?
I don't got much except for Saturday's obviously going to be a big wrestling day, regardless of what show or what wrestling company you watch, AEW, WWE, whatever you watch. Hey, we're all wrestling fans, and it's going to be a full day of wrestling, so let's just enjoy it. All right. Other than that, I ain't got much. That's it.
Specifically calling out the AEW sickos there.
Just enjoy, man.
Just enjoy the wrestling, man. Just enjoy the wrestling, man.
Sit back, relax.
Sit back, relax. Crack open a cold one. Unless you're like myself, I'm not drinking anymore. I'm on a sober binge.
No more bars for you. No more bars.
No more open bars for me. Close in case I got to get it myself. So, yeah, as far as my final thoughts here on my end, we'll be attending a card show this Saturday. So be on the lookout here. There's usually where I suck up on a lot of my WWE card inventory. So make sure you are keeping an eye out there on Whatnot. Go follow me over on Whatnot. I'll probably be having a show sometime next week. So make sure you go follow me on there. If you never joined Whatnot, you can join the link down below. Get $15 off in credit. You can spend that wherever you like. You can spend that on my stream if you do. I appreciate you. If you don't want to spend it somewhere else, you're more than welcome to do that as well. So yeah, if you never joined Whatnot, you can go do that down below. So we'll probably have a little bit of a stream probably next week. And maybe a little bit in person vlog because you will be there as well. So maybe hopefully maybe I'll get some content out there for you, for the watchers of YouTube there. If you are subscribed to the channel, I have it's been a while since I've done a card show vlog, so maybe we'll get one out there for the good old people over on YouTube.
Yep, the little one's gonna be with me too. So
yes, the little one will be there with you. She loves going through the value boxes as we were together last weekend. Was it last weekend? 2 weekends ago, I believe. At this
2
point.
weekends ago, the week of Cactus Jack. I don't remember. But yeah, she'll be there with me. She'll obviously probably be bugging me for some Pokemon cards. So see what we can find.
As we talk about family and bozos, we got this bozo here who's finally downloading 2K25. Jesus Christ. I'm not playing with them anymore. That's why I kicked him off the plan. He said, I'm gonna clip this, I'm gonna send it to him personally.
I'm gonna text him.
Yeah, guys,
late. You have work tomorrow.
You gotta mold the young minds. But yeah, guys, that's what we have here on our end. Again, make sure you are following, subscribing wherever you are listening and following and watching. And stay tuned next week because we will have our reaction to WrestlePalooza and more card talk as we get closer to release date. But yeah, that's what we had here on our end. Again, thank you for listening and watching, and we will see y'all on the next one.